So if you've been on the internet for the past, I don't know, like 5 days or something, you've probably stumbled across a video from Reckless Ben, which I do highly recommend that you watch. He's posted many videos now. They're quite long, but they're worth watching because it just shows the pure like corruption and scandal that this company is willing to go into. And so if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about Bricks and Minifigs, which is I think like it's basically like a Lego store who sell like Lego sets and pieces. And they've been in hot water recently because a YouTuber called Reckless Ben posted a video basically about how Bricks and Minifigs essentially stole this granddad's entire $200,000 Star Wars Lego set, and they keep on lying, saying they don't have it. So there's this guy called Brian, and basically his dad was collecting these Star Wars Lego sets, which for around about 20 years, and they were worth around $200,000. Essentially, when the store sells them, Brian or his family take a cut. The store takes a cut, and it's a co-assignment deal. And there's a legal like written letter from which was given from the family to Reckless Ben, which proves that this was a co-assignment deal. And so the fact that Bricks and Minifigs are stating that there is no co-assignment, we don't do that here at Bricks and Minifigs, is just ridiculous. So essentially, Brian and his wife decided that they were going to move country, so they informed her corporate that they were leaving the Bricks and Minifigs family. So when they told this, they were pretty much kicked out instantly. The security footage of a person from corporate called Kai McAllister, who, according to Bricks and Minifigs, is a low-level employee, but his LinkedIn begs to differ. So they just outright lied there. Essentially, he pretty much kicked them out instantly and said that the next owner would take on the co-assignment deal because this is a huge Lego set worth $200,000. This is a lot of money, which is there. The family's money, not Bricks and Minifigs. So they basically said like, yeah, we'll sort it out. You'll still get your cut and stuff. And it was a lie. Brian, who's the son of the father who collected the sets, had this like 1 or 2 year sort of legal battle where they basically drained him dry. Like they just dragged it forever, and therefore he asked Reckless Ben to make a video on it. As well as that, Brian and like his wife would never get called. Like they would block their numbers. Like they couldn't speak to the business, so like how were they meant to get these Legos back? Well, they couldn't, so they thought the only option was to publicly expose them, and they asked Reckless Ben to take action in doing so. But the important thing that Bricks and Minifigs keeps on saying that isn't happening, because I just watched one of their Q&A things with a talk show, which Reckless Ben also did a video on, which I also do recommend you watch, because he said that there were 3 questions, and if that he could answer the 3 questions, then he would delete his channel. Uh, he wasn't able to answer the 3 questions. He sort of dodged them and lied. So in the first video, which Reckless Ben posted, at the end of it, they managed to win in small claims court. So they went to the store to pick up the Legos, which they legally won. And it turns out they actually shut down the store just so they didn't have to pay, just so they didn't have to give the Legos back.
Everything.
Yeah, sure, of course, yeah. I give him the inventory, and the judge says I gotta give it to him. I gotta give it to him. I'm not gonna go against the judge's orders.
I couldn't believe it. Literally one day after we filed motion for default judgment, they permanently closed down the store. At first, it did feel kind of cool that our plan worked so well, it completely shut them down. But pretty quickly it sunk in that we are not the winners here. The only winners today is Bricks and Minifigs.
As a result, the only way to like follow on from there, they had to sue. They had to sue 2 of the owners personally. They weren't really able to because essentially the Utah Police Department, seemingly have this sort of like collaboration with Bricks and Minifigs where they will like defend them for anything they do. So they weren't able to actually like legally hand him the papers because the police department would like stop them, get calls for harassment. You know, at one point in the video, it seems that Bricks and Minifigs made up a lie saying that Reckless Ben had heroin in his car.
The police apparently got a call that we had heroin on us.
This officer is going to conduct a search of your person because there are legal substances in the vehicle. Really? So he's going to do that. I'm going to put this away, and then we'll be right. Don't reach in your pockets for me, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you. The vehicle will be searched, okay? I'm going to have you stick by with my sergeant.
After 2 hours of searching the car, obviously they found no drugs.
So, you didn't find
I explained to the police that we didn't have drugs, and the reality of the situation is that Bricks and Minifigs is so desperate at this point that they're willing to do anything to get us arrested so they don't have to pay for the property they stole. And the police was arguing back with just some of the worst comebacks I've ever heard, which is why I think the police actually redacted this audio in this clip, because if they kept the audio in, then the world would get to see how stupid the American Fork Police Department is. But anyways, even though we were passing every single drug test they gave us, they were still not going to let us go.
Got pulled over for, I think it was like 3 hours, and got searched, you know, to find nothing. It's just ridiculous. In another clip, like, they get pulled over and the guy comes, he's like, "How was Utah?" Like, he thinks he's in a movie. I don't know why the police are like trying to be intimidating. Like, it's just embarrassing. They're protecting this company for no reason. Like, they're just making themselves look corrupt. And to be honest, they are most definitely corrupt. You know, at one point in the video, the policemen have a search warrant on Reckless Ben's house, and they come in with, like, you know, ARs and like assault rifles and pistols fully loaded. And when Reckless Ben left the building with a couple other people, one of the police officers just like randomly sort of like grabbed his arm and said he was trying to run. When you can clearly tell that, like, Reckless Ben wasn't even moving. As a result, Reckless Ben dislocated his shoulder. It honestly seems like the police officer did it on purpose, just so, you know, it's just like almost like a threat, you know, like, you know, keep on doing this investigation and we'll hurt you type of thing. It's embarrassing. It looks really bad on the Utah Police Department. I don't know if they've done a public statement yet, but it looks really bad on them.
It was about to get way worse.
American Park Police Department, make yourself known.
Search warrant. Stand up. Step outside, everybody. Come on.
No. Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Okay?
Yeah, this cop pulled my arm so far back, it dislocated my shoulder. He claims it's because I was attempting to make an escape or something.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Don't move quick. Everybody just chill.
But if we go back a little bit, you can see I was being completely still when he grabbed me, and I actually made 0 quick movements. So this police officer is just straight up lying so he can give me a serious injury.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
And in another clip, I think it's the same officer, like Reckless Ben's friend gets pulled over and he has to like hand over his phone as evidence or something. And when he goes to turn off the screen, which you are legally allowed to do, you don't have to hand them the phone which is turned on. So he locks the screen essentially, which is also a pretty normal habit. If you have your phone open and you hand it to someone, you usually like lock it, especially if you don't know them. The policeman thought it was like destroying evidence. So he like grabbed his hand. He's like, "Nope, you're destroying evidence," and because of that, you got arrested. It's ridiculous.
Officers are saying in this next clip, but I'm pretty sure they're scheming up a way to get the group arrested, because this is what happens next.
And Lieutenant Adamson can correct me if I'm wrong, but we're going to seize your phone right now.
Do not do that. You understand me? Right now you're attempting to destroy evidence. Okay? Put your hands behind your back. I was just locking my phone.
Okay, I'm going to switch over to the police officer's body cam POV so we can dissect what just happened. First, the police officer asks if he can confiscate Sheldon's phone, so Sheldon says, okay, and reaches in his pocket to give it to him. But at this point, Sheldon sees that his phone is unlocked. And at this moment, he decided that before giving it to the police officer, he was going to lock his phone, which is totally legal. There's no search warrant, so Sheldon is legally allowed to lock his phone. But as the police officer saw Sheldon's thumb moving towards that lock button, he snatched it out of his hands. And now the police officer's claiming that because he tried to lock his phone, he's destroying evidence.
Silence. Yeah, I was giving it to you.
Stop talking.
I was
Stop
giving
talking,
it to you.
Okay?
It's on my money. Look, it's on my wallet.
Okay,
I was turning it off.
But right now, this phone is being seized as part of this investigation, and you're being arrested. Okay? Let's put him in the back of the car.
And then later on in the sort of video, we have a sort of possible theory of why the police have this bias against Reckless Ben and sticking to Bricks and Minifigs. Because it turns out most of the people in corporate from Bricks and Minifigs are part of the Mormon religion / community. And it also turns out that a lot of the Utah police are also part of the same Mormon religion and community. So it almost seems like they're sort of backing their brothers, backing their friends sort of thing. I mean, this isn't confirmed, but it does sort of lead on why the police are being so hostile and kind of threatening and picky on Reckless Ben. And when he literally has the facts, he's going through the proper legal channels, he has to give him this lawsuit, but they're just not letting it happen. And I don't understand why Bricks and Minifigs have done this. They've tarnished their reputation, all for a $200,000 Lego set which they didn't even own. They simply could have just given it back to the rightful owner. All of this would have been fine. None of this controversy would have happened. None of this scandal would have happened. I really do hope that both Bricks and Minifigs and the Utah State Police, or whatever, have a formal investigation to see if there's any sort of corruption or, bias towards people. Because it really does seem like that's going on. And I really, I hope to see what the Utah State Police say about this, because I don't know if they have said anything public yet, but I would like to see what they say. At one point in the video, Reckless Ben also gets arrested for starting a GoFundMe. So essentially, after all the legal channels didn't really work, they couldn't give the lawsuit, he decided to start a GoFundMe to start getting the money back. And he got arrested for that. Starting GoFundMes is completely legal, but he got arrested without bail. But then the judge sort of looked at the case and realized this is the most ridiculous thing ever, so he let him out free after, I don't know, a day or two. It just seems so corrupt. This Bricks and Minifigs are doing anything in their they're doing anything they can just so that they don't have to give back this $200,000 Lego set. And the funny thing is, there was a leaked internal email where they did this prediction of how the social media reaction is going to be and how in 7 days it will die off or something like that. And then when they file their lawsuit, it's going to increase again. It's embarrassing. This could all be avoided if they just gave back the Lego sets. Before I end off this video, the CEO of Bricks and Minifigs genuinely looks like a stereotypical villain with his twirly moustache. He's I don't know what Bricks and Minifigs sets are you talking about? Also, the owner of the franchise store which has the Lego sets in, when Reckless Ben went to the owner of the house, the person who owned it, their house, he came outside and was giving him some threatening death stare, he refused to say a single word, didn't take any papers. It's just the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. He thinks he's tough. The Utah police think they're doing something good here.
Hello. Hey, how's it going? Hello? Hey, well, I was wondering if you'd be down to pay us for the lawsuit that we won.
It kind of seems like Brandon doesn't want to have this good faith conversation to resolve this problem outside of court. And I gave him plenty of time to speak.
I guess if you don't want to talk, I'll just talk. So you guys told us to take you to court. We went to court and we won. We know you closed down the store to avoid paying us, so we could just sue you guys personally and do the whole thing again. We would obviously win again, but
then the police showed up.
And it's just sad to see how the Bricks and Minifigs employees are all, like, being forced to like do bad things for these people, because otherwise they get fired, and you know you don't want to lose your job over, you know, something like this, do you, realistically? I mean, there was one employee, according to the families whose Legos were stolen. There wasn't one employee who, when they raised a question, they were literally fired like the next day. Which I don't know about in the US, but that seems like, you know, in the UK that's probably not allowed. You know, getting fired for asking one question. I'm not too sure. Maybe someone can tell me. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, like, Bricks and Minifigs need to get their act together. It's so sad how, like, you know, they didn't just do the right thing in the first place, and they've done this Q&A, and I like how the host of the Q&A wasn't really like letting them slide that easily. Like, he mentioned how, you know, they're only really doing this press tour because it's gotten publicity, and that's completely true. He says it's partly true, and it's also based on other like legal factors, but like anytime any person gets in trouble, they always just blame it on, like, you know, I can't talk about the facts because there's legal, you know, ongoing legal practices going on. Shut up, okay? You're just lying. But yeah, so that's about it. See ya.